Again? We are going through this with Angel Reese? Again? The unidentified victim was introduced to the palm of Angel Reese's hand. Over the past couple of years, Angel Reese has allowed the disease of jealousy to destroy her career.
Angel Reese just got slapped with a suspension after slapping an opponent's face, and the WNBA isn't playing around this time in a move that feels more like a reality check than a routine decision. The league finally said, "Enough is enough, this has got to be a goddamn joke, this got to be a joke." This isn't just a suspension, it's a turning point for a player who's been testing the league's limits all season.
This has got to be a goddamn joke. This has got to be a joke.
Angel Reese is making headlines again, but not for the reasons the WNBA or her fans would want the Chicago Sky forward has been suspended indefinitely after yet another shocking in-court incident.
Another instance where Angel Reese shows a complete lack of self-control.
This time it happened during a game against the Washington Mystics on June 17, 2025, a night that will be remembered not for her stats, but for a slap that sent shockwaves through.
Angel Reese was visibly frustrated after missing another layup. As she was preparing to jog very slowly down the court in transition, she decided to take out her frustration on the face of one of the players for the Washington Mythical.
The incident unfolded during a heated moment in the game. Reese had just missed a layup visibly frustrated when she lashed out, striking Mystics player Kiki Erie in the face. What happened?
Missing layups.
The slap wasn't subtle, it was deliberate, unnecessary, and frankly inexcusable. Fans in attendance and those watching online were stunned. Social media erupted almost immediately, with many calling it a cheap shot and demanding serious consequences.
What happened last night? That was inexcusable. Angel Reese was visibly frustrated, which is kind of strange.
What's even more damning is that this wasn't an isolated act of frustration. The Chicago Sky, despite holding a double-digit lead earlier in the game, somehow managed to lose, squandering their advantage in a humiliating collapse. Reese's individual performance, on paper 17 points and 10 rebounds, was overshadowed by her poor judgment and inability to lead her team when it mattered most.
And you're drawing attention to yourself because of that. That can be problematic for you, especially when the comparison is going to be drawn to Caitlin Clark, who isn't doing such things. That might not be fair. I'm not saying it is.
Adding insult to injury, the game drew a meager crowd of about 7,500 people, though even that number feels inflated.
Last night, Angel Reese, big star. She played in an arena that was filled to less than 75% capacity. The announced attendance was around 7,500.
The empty seats in the arena told a story of their own for someone who's been marketed as one of the WNBA's rising stars. Reese's inability to pack arenas speaks volumes.
So I think it's time to finally, end the argument. End the argument that there is any sort of other needle mover.
Caitlin Clark steps onto the court. She sells out arenas. Reese, however, struggles to draw fans even with the league's relentless promotional push. This incident raises bigger questions about Reese's role in the WNBA. For years, the league has positioned her as one of its marquee players, but incidents like this make it harder to justify that status. Fans are beginning to question whether she deserves the spotlight she's been given, especially when her behavior continues to overshadow her talent.
Numbers are in. ESPN released the viewership numbers for the Indiana Fever versus the Brazilian national team game.
Reese's suspension, announced shortly after the game, has sparked heated debates. The Chicago head coach Tyler Marsh cited not only her actions during the game, but also her lack of accountability afterward. It's an indefinite suspension, meaning Reese's future with the team and perhaps the league is now uncertain. The WNBA has also launched an investigation into the incident, adding another layer of scrutiny to her already controversial career.
They care about winning more than they care about anything.
It raises pattern of behavior is becoming impossible to ignore. While she continues to put up decent numbers, her on-court antics and lack of composure are overshadowing her contributions. It's a troubling trend, one that raises questions about her ability to be the leader and role model the WNBA so desperately
By now, you'd figure that Angel Reese was used to missing layups and would have no reason to be pissed off about it.
The league's fans, many of whom are loyal Caitlin Clark supporters, have largely rejected Reese's star narrative, and it's not hard to see why Reese's actions on the court don't align with the image of a player who can elevate the league. Instead, they paint a picture of someone who lacks the self-control and professionalism required to be a true ambassador for the sport.
Women's basketball star Angel Reese says we should get paid like NBA players, okay? That's going out everywhere.
The dust settles. One thing is clear: Angel Reese's slap wasn't just a moment of poor judgment, it was a culmination of ongoing issues that have plagued her career and tarnished her reputation. Whether she can bounce back from this latest controversy remains to be seen. But the road ahead looks anything but easy. What does this mean for the Chicago Sky and the WNBA as a whole? Only time will tell, but for now the league finds itself once again dealing with a headline it didn't want and a star who seems determined to burn brighter for the wrong reasons.
Angel Reese's trademark. It says that she is asking for the trademark for t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hats.
Angel Reese's indefinite suspension is the talk of the WNBA, and honestly, no one should be surprised. Chicago Sky head coach Tyler Marsh didn't mince words when announcing the decision after yet another public display of poor sportsmanship, this time slapping Kiki. Irian Marsh had enough. It wasn't just about this one incident, it was about everything. Reese's behavior on and off the court has made headlines for all the wrong reasons. You can't claim to be the face of a league and act like this.
With the basketball being pretend in the WNBA, most people don't expect the punches to be real.
So what's the WNBA really up to here? Are they genuinely trying to set a precedent for accountability? Or is this just a PR move to manage the fallout? There's no denying that the league has poured a lot of energy into marketing Rhea as a star, but suspending her indefinitely sends a strong message. Or does it? Let's not forget, suspensions in the WNBA often feel more like a slap on the wrist, pun intended.
The WNBA getting angry for being a huge embarrassing failure. After a while, it just becomes normal.
And let's be honest, this isn't Reese's first rodeo. When it comes to controversy, back in May during a game against the Indiana Fever, she got into it with Caitlin Clark, a rookie. By the way, the incident started with a flagrant fall and quickly escalated into a near brawl. Teammates had to step in, and the officials looked like they wanted to crawl under the scorer's table. Fast forward to June 15th. And Rhea was at it again, this time with Connecticut Sun forward Olivia Nelson-Oda. It all started with a hair-pulling incident during a rebound battle. Hair-pulling Rays responded by shoving Nelson-Oda, earning herself a technical foul. Sure, you could argue that she was defending herself, but come on, there are better ways to handle that situation than channeling WWE energy on the court.
What is this? The second time this week this has happened?
Thread here raises temper. It's not just a one-off thing, it's a pattern. Every player has moments of frustration, but Reese seems to have a knack for turning those moments into headline-grabbing altercations. This raises some serious questions about her leadership. Is this how a player who calls herself the face of the WNBA should act? Leaders are supposed to inspire their teams, not drag them into chaos.
Angel Reese loses her temper?
Where it gets tricky on paper, Reese's stats look solid: double-doubles, triple-doubles, you name it, she's done it. Just last week she put up 17 points and 10 rebounds against the Mystics. Impressive, right? Well, not really.
On paper, Angel Reese played a great game.
Because those numbers lose their shine when you realize how many missed layups and turnovers she had in the same game. And let's not forget her disappearing act in the fourth quarter. When the game was on the line, Rhea was nowhere to be found. This isn't a one-time issue either. Over and over, Reese's performances crumble in clutch moments, missed shots, poor decisions, and an inability to step up when it matters most. Her stats may look good in the box score, but they're often misleading. They don't show the turnovers, the missed opportunities, or the lack of leadership.
The Chicago Bravado still managed to find a way to lose to the Washington Mythicals. Why?
And then there's the me-bounds. Yes, Rhea has actually trademarked the term, but what does it really say about her game? Instead of focusing on team success, it feels like she's more interested in padding her individual stats. It's a clever bit of branding, sure, but it's also a glaring reminder of where her priorities lie.
Angel Reese has filed a trademark for the rebound term me-bound.
Angel Reese's suspension isn't just about a single slap or a few bad games. It's a reflection of a much bigger problem, one that could jeopardize her career and tarnish the WNBA's reputation. The league has a decision to make. Will they continue to protect a player who's become a liability, Or will they finally hold her accountable? Ree might think she's untouchable, but the truth is even stars can burn out if they keep making the same mistakes. The clock is ticking, and it's up to her to decide what kind of legacy she wants to leave. Subscribe to the channel if this story.
It'll say Angel Reese part 36. And it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup. She misses. Bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest shit. And my whole thing is this, dude.